Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome to our YouTube live stream today. An EU passport in 5 years, real estate and investment fund option, both available. EU residency without any nationality restrictions, no backlog and fast processing within 6 months. Well, which country is this? You may or may not have heard, but Bulgaria has all these options. We'll cover the pathways today in obtaining EU residency in Bulgaria through zero investment option or the golden visa investment route in this short YouTube live recording today. Why Bulgaria? What features do each of these programs offer you as somebody who's seeking residency in the EU? That's what we're covering today's live stream. No special effects, no editing, no censorship, but the exposed truth, just like the rest of our videos. Of course, stick around for a Q&A session at the end of the presentation where you can ask any question related to the residency and investment programs that we have in our portfolio of over 20 countries and jurisdictions. I do have to do an introduction of myself. My name is Reza. I'm the founder of Ingwe, your gateway to international residencies, citizenships, alternative investments around the world. We have an active portfolio of 20 countries and services that open a world of possibilities for investors, serious professionals. And our team is licensed both in real estate, residency, and citizenship. We work both with B2B and B2C channels, meaning we cooperate with financial investment advisors, real estate brokerages, and directly as well with individual investors and families and developers. At Ingwe, we've successfully helped thousands of families since 2018 with overseas investments and programs. Our existing portfolio includes Europe, Central America, North Americas, both US and Canada, the Caribbean islands, and even New Zealand. Whether you're seeking to invest in real estate abroad, aiming to retire comfortably and enhance your quality of life with positive cash flow, maybe find crypto-friendly tax countries, or perhaps even acquire direct citizenship without moving anywhere, or fast-track residency, whether it's for yourself, your clients, or future generations. Maybe it's for your parents, maybe it's for your single sibling. Whatever it is, we're here to help. We're not a typical sales company. We educate you, provide you with the resources, guide you, and help you weigh all the options based on risk, return, matching to your short, medium, and long-term goals. You can consider us as a custom solution provider. Our global partnerships and multilingual team ensure that no matter where you're coming from or where you're planning to invest or go to, perhaps we're here to guide and support you through every single step of the way. You can engage with our office in Panama or Canada for any of our international programs by clicking on the links below this video or contacting us through our contact page on our website. Let's get into it. Why Bulgaria is gaining popularity as an EU immigration destination. There's a rising star in Europe. More and more people are considering Bulgaria as a residency options in Europe due to its rich culture, low cost of living, favorable tax regimes such as 10% flat income and corporate tax, and being a full EU member since 2007, and EU currency being implemented in January 2026. And it's been part of the Schengen visa region, which it has joined in March 2024, last year. Basically, you get everything you would get from any other residency programs in Europe, except that you also have the non-investment option, the non-business options. You don't have to actively run a business, invest in anything, or do a startup, all that fake stuff that we have to do to get a residency. There's no backlog in Bulgaria, like the Portuguese program, which you could be waiting for 2 years or even more these days. There are two main programs in Bulgaria, which overseas applicants can consider. It's either the zero investment pathway, we call it the trade representative office, or the golden visa investment fund option. Both programs are open to all nationalities, no exceptions, and have their own unique features, these two programs, depending on what you're seeking for your EU residency, like your timeline, your ultimate goal, your preferences. The residency requirements are light for both of them, quote unquote, and manageable without living having to live full-time in Bulgaria. They both provide you a pathway to permanent residency and EU visa-free access to the EU Schengen region in case that's what you're looking for. And if not, then access to Bulgaria's economy, education, access to the Black Sea, you name it. Here's the flight time from Bulgaria's international airport in Sofia, the capital, to all major EU hubs and surrounding regions. So in 2.5 hours, you get to Frankfurt by flight, 4 hours to Paris, 3.5 hours to Madrid, 2 hours, 25 minutes to Tel Aviv, 5 hours to Dubai, 3 hours, 30 minutes to London, UK, an hour, 20 minutes to Istanbul, Turkey, 2 hours and 15 minutes to Geneva, Switzerland. So it is pretty centrally located. You gotta admit. From Bulgaria, you have access to the West and East EU region, CIS countries, so that's Central Asia, right? And easy access to Middle East and the Mediterranean countries, whether it's in Europe or going into the Middle East region or those beautiful islands like Malta and Cyprus or Ibiza or Marbella, whatever you want to call it. Or maybe you want to fly to Canary Islands, which is a bit further out, but still, Bulgaria is centrally located. That's the whole point. How do you access the EU Bulgaria program, residency program, without a golden visa, without an investment, without having to break the bank? Well, it's easy. We use the TRO program called the Trade Representative Office Program, which is a zero investment program that can offer you and your family residency in the EU, in the Schengen region. The TRO program, in a nutshell, okay, if you're on the go right now, you're busy, and you can't wait till the end of the video to see everything. In a nutshell, it's any active and operational company outside the EU region can appoint any professional whose background is kind of relevant to their industry to go and reside in Bulgaria as a trade representative to develop the business and network locally in Bulgaria. Obviously, if your business is a restaurant, coffee shop, or spa, or a nail salon, it won't make sense to have a trade rep going to another country since it has to be logical, the whole structure of the application. For example, it could be a company offering IT services, marketing, import-export, business consulting, maybe some kind of finance advisory service, or manufacturer of equipment or accessories that is looking to expand into Bulgaria, right? Even if you don't do any business and won't be able to sell anything in Bulgaria, it doesn't matter and won't affect your application to get the residency. The key is to have the application and industry of the business and the trade representative who is being appointed to be relevant and logical, right? So if you've got an uncle who's a cook or a chef and he or she wants to, a family member wants to go to Bulgaria, and you have a software engineering company or software development company. Well, that's not going to fly. But yeah, if you have a software development company, not you, maybe somebody, your neighbor has it, your cousin has it, and they want to appoint you, and you're kind of like a business manager. You worked at the bank. Yeah, that could work. But if you worked at a coffee shop and then there's an engineering manufacturing firm that wants to send you as a trade rep, well, that may not fly. Right? The trade representative does not need to be an employee, director, shareholder, or any documented affiliation of the company, which is sending the person to Bulgaria to network and to do market research and potentially find businesses and collaboration opportunities for the business. But this is not something that you need to have up front. So you apply, you go, but it's all about networking. There's no investment. There's no you have to hire anyone. It's not like that. It's a trade rep. So imagine you're like, I think the best way to explain it, maybe this is better, is you're an ambassador to the business overseas. Okay, I like that. Do you like that too? You're an ambassador for the business to go there and represent them. Whether they sell or not, completely irrelevant. Okay, we'll go through the documents and eligibility of the Trade Representative Office TRO program in Bulgaria, which will give you residency in Europe, meaning you, the trade rep, not the company. The company won't be registered there, like incorporated. It won't have a financial footprint. It's just going to be incorporated, registered in the Chamber of Commerce. I'll explain to you. The company eligibility should be an existing and active entity outside the EU region, active for minimum 2 years, meaning in the past 2 years before you apply. Now, operational revenue and official financial statements are needed, and there should be no taxes owing to the government of where it's currently operating. So you do need to show tax documents. No minimum requirement for the revenues or profits, but for higher success rate, it is recommended at least 500,000 euro revenue to be shown in the latest financial reports of the company. This will increase the chances of a success, as there are new proposed regulations in Bulgaria this year to make that a minimum requirement. So it's best you have the company which is appointing you 500,000 euros in the past financial year. Revenue, sales, not profits. If you have a company that has no profits or no revenues, well, that's not going to fly either. No incorporation or legal entity is required in Bulgaria. This means that the overseas company does not need to incorporate a legal entity in Bulgaria or even open a bank account or have any financial dealings in Bulgaria, inside Bulgaria. Only a registration as a trade representative with the Bulgarian Chamber of Commerce and Industry is required to become eligible for this program, and a physical office location in Bulgaria. That we can take care of. We'll take care of all that for you. Company documents. Example of corporate documents include bank statements, official financial statements for the past 2 years, shareholder registry, income statements, balance sheet, certificate or declaration that no taxes are owing, sort of like a notice of assessment, profile of the company such as brochure, website presentation, company incorporation and shareholder registry, and any renewal documents. So let's say you have a company in United Arab Emirates and you have a manufacturing or trade license. Well, yeah, it's got to be an updated one. Annual plan for the trade representatives' activities. There's an annual plan required as part of the application process, which is supported by our office. So it means, basically it's kind of like a very light executive summary or business plan, like literally a 1 or 2 pager of why the company is looking to send the trade rep to Bulgaria, where they see the opportunity, and what they hope to achieve out of it. And this is just high level stuff. This is not like, I'm going to hire 2 people and make $2 million in a year or 2. It affects the trade rep in no way, whether they actually implement it or not. The key is that you have an annual plan. You need a local office address required in Bulgaria before applying to qualify for this program. So it's before you apply. The overseas company that's appointing you as a trade rep or their ambassador must have an actual tenancy agreement in Bulgaria as proof of residency, not a virtual office, a physical one. Of course, our office can help you with that as well. Local residential address for the trade rep before they go. So they need to have an agreement for a tenancy in Bulgaria before they go, before they apply. And again, we can help you with that as well. Quite easy for us. Okay, timeline and processes. Apply with the company documents to the Bulgarian Chamber of Commerce and Industry to register a trade representative office in Bulgaria. Along with your proof of address in Bulgaria, the office, specific forms and declarations that will fill out for you. Provide a power of attorney in Bulgaria for our representative to process these first steps, after which our Bulgarian representative will issue a certificate and documents to send to you in your country of residence to continue the steps with the Bulgarian consulate there. And we'll go through that. So the visa application includes submitting all supporting documents for the trade rep. So you're the person being appointed. So you got to deal with the Bulgarian embassy or consulate in your home country, your current country of residency, after we've sent you back all the registrations of the company in Bulgaria with their offices, right? So you need a police check, proof of medical insurance, valid passport, birth certificate, national ID, overseas company documents that we would have prepared for you and sent. Demonstrate they have the means to support you themselves in Bulgaria, meaning the applicant has to show there's some financial funds available in their bank account to support themselves, because there's no job offer or there's no salary involved. The trade representative will be applying in person at the Bulgarian consulate in the country of residence. The entire process is done by paper. There's no online application possible for TRO. All documents need to be attested by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Bulgarian consulate embassy in the country of residency, or apostille, depending if your country of residency or citizenship is part of the Hague Convention for apostilling documents, before being couriered all to Bulgaria, where we'll take care of the rest and we'll translate them. Then you need to obtain a Type D visa from the Bulgarian consulate embassy in your country of residency to be approved to enter Bulgaria. When you enter Bulgaria, within the first 2 weeks, you will receive a temporary residence ID, right? So this temporary residence ID is your temporary residency in EU, and that's what you get for the non-investment TRO program. You can travel within the EU with this temporary residency. It's kind of like the same thing that you get in Portugal when you pay 500,000 euros or anywhere. It's the same thing. It's a temporary residency. So within 2 weeks, you get it. You don't need to stay in Bulgaria for 2 weeks. You arrive, you do your biometrics, and then you can roam around in EU region for 2 weeks, come back, pick up your temporary residency. What's the validity and the renewal? The temporary residency for the trade rep is valid for 1 year and it's renewable annually. The trade representative must settle within the first year after the application is approved to become eligible for renewal. So if you get the approval and you don't enter Bulgaria to get your temporary residency, then you cannot renew. Okay. There's no specific residency requirement. However, you cannot be absent from Bulgaria for 12 months consecutively. So what does that mean? So you entered the first day of the year and you entered the last 2 weeks of the year, right? So let's say you enter on December 24th and you leave January 6th. So you apply for your renewal when you're there, and you're not going to have 12 consecutive months absence from Bulgaria, so you can maintain your residency, right? Because you need to do an annual renewal. That takes 2 weeks, and you need to be in the country. You need to be in the country at some point, right, to make sure you are not absent for 12 months consecutively. Okay, the renewal process. It's done inside Bulgaria, right? And you can roam around in EU, right? It's because when you're in the EU region, nobody knows if you're in France, Germany, Italy, Austria, Bulgaria, Poland. Like, nobody knows. So you just have to enter the country and then go through the renewal process. But during that time, you could be holidaying anywhere. It could be south of Spain. And then when it's ready, you head back to Bulgaria. Okay, typically most people go through Sofia. So it's pretty simple. For the annual process, renewal process, you need proof of settlement, such as proof of residential address that we can get for Bulgarian ID card that you'll get originally. If you have a bank account, you had some transactions, some declarations of business networking and research activities, which can all be paperwork. The trade representative may convert inside Bulgaria to a blue card program. So if you do find employment and you're like, hey, forget this, I don't want to be an ambassador for that company and not get paid, I just got a job offer. Well, you can get a blue card and convert from inside Bulgaria, which is basically a skilled worker program in Europe. There's no requirement for the trade representative to be on payroll in Bulgaria. What about dependents? Well, spouse can be included, and children under the age of 18. If you have adult children, let's say they have their own family, let's say they're 32 years old, well, they can be a separate trade rep, right? So meaning that each company can legally appoint 3 trade representatives to go to Bulgaria, one company. We don't do 3. It's too risky. It's got to be a big corporate company to send 3 trade reps to Bulgaria. That's a lot. But let's say you're there, or let's say 2 families, siblings, and your families want to go to Bulgaria. Well, you are 2 trade reps for one company, as long as it makes sense. Again, the residency requirement is you cannot be absent for more 12 months consecutively. You can renew it every year. Converting temporary residency to permanent residency in Bulgaria under this program requires 6 months residency within 12 months for 5 years. Okay, So, meaning 30 months in 5 years required in total as proof to convert to PR, even if it is not 6 months every 12 months. There's no residency required if the applicant does not want to convert to PR. You can just continue with the temporary residency forever. I mean, as long as you can justify the TRO being the ambassador and the trade rep, right? And this is easier than Italy, for example, to convert to permanent residency. Remember, we're always posting about key details for investors, entrepreneurs, for new programs and policy changes, and even seeking positive ROI for investments, residencies, passports, and tax relief in crypto-friendly jurisdictions. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it's free. If you fancy a permanent residency to this EU country, Bulgaria, and don't want a temporary residency, and don't want a company to be involved to appoint you, then you can just take the investor route. The investor program to Bulgaria allows you to obtain permanent residency upfront through an investment in Bulgarian mutual funds or ETFs or alternative investment funds, AIFs. The beauty of this program is that these are not special golden visa funds ready to scam you for your money. These are just any Bulgarian registered mutual funds or ETFs or AIFs that can be used as an investment tool to obtain your permanent residency. There's no education, language, or work experience required as an investor. You just need proof of funds, clean background check, and health check. Okay? So you can receive a permanent residency in EU through Bulgaria through the investor residency within 6 to 8 months. Liquidate the investment in 5 years, but still maintain your permanent residency. Wow, that's pretty good, right? All nationalities accepted for the Bulgarian residency program, no matter where you're from. So you invest 512,000 euros in a registered investment fund in Bulgaria, mutual fund, ETFs, AIFs, as I said. Why 512,000 euros? I don't know. Why not 500,000 euros like the rest of Europe, or 250, a round number? I don't know. To be honest with you, it's a Bulgarian thing. I can't really speculate, but it's a good number. What are the requirements? Well, it takes 6 to 8 months. You need a pre-clearance completed by the Bulgarian Investment Agency, BIA, before you invest, okay? The investment fund does a KYC on you after the pre-clearance. Then you complete the investment, the 512,000 euros that goes into the Bulgarian mutual fund, ETF, or AIF approved by the authorities. There are no immigration-linked funds specifically for immigrants. This is just the public has access to these funds and they invest in them. An investment certificate is issued by the Bulgarian bank after you've invested. Visa application is prepared and submitted with your police check, proof of medical, valid passport, birth certificate, national ID, proof of access to the investment funds, and it's your investment, a statement of the source of investment funds, like what did you sell or where did you have this money from, demonstrate that you have the means to support yourself in Bulgaria. And then, of course, we fill out the forms, the immigration forms, and then you will be applying to the Bulgarian consulate or embassy in the country of residence where you are. The entire process is paper-based. It's not online like the rest of the world. It's paper. It's kind of cool, very retro, nostalgic. But yeah, it's a paper-based, and we'll actually help you through the whole process. But you eventually have to take it to the embassy and apply. All documents must be attested by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Bulgarian consulate or embassy in the country of residence, or apostilled if you're from the Hague Convention, before being couriered to our Bulgarian office for translation. Then we send it back to you, and then you apply. Okay? So that is key in terms of for you to get a Type D visa entry into the Schengen region, into Bulgaria. You will arrive to Bulgaria and complete your biometric. Okay? When you complete your biometrics, you also apply for your permanent residency. And then within 2 weeks, you get your permanent residency from Bulgaria, which gives you full access to the EU. And of course, you don't have to stay there for 2 weeks. You can roam around on vacation in south of Spain or France if you like. The permanent residency is valid for 5 years. Yes, folks, 5 years. Not 2 years, not 3 years. The applicant must maintain the investment for 5 years, but then they can liquidate the funds if they wish to and still hold the permanent residency. The dependents. Of course, children under 18, spouses, right? residency requirements. So permanent residence holders should not be absent for more than 12 consecutive months as well from the EU, specifically Bulgaria, right? So again, you come in maybe for a week, end of December, early January, or maybe in the middle of summer. So you always avoid being absent for 12 months consecutively, and you hold your permanent residency. What about citizenship, right? So that's the next question. Can I get a citizenship under this program? Yes, timeline for citizenship is 5 years from the date you become a permanent resident. That's pretty good, right? If you went through the TRO program, you would be a temporary resident for the first 5 years, convert to the permanent residency, as I explained what is required after the first 5 years, and then wait another 5 years for citizenship. But if you do take the investment route, it's only 5 years, right? Because you'll receive PR on arrival under the investment program. So therefore, making it the fastest citizenship pathway in all of the EU besides Cyprus and Portugal, which is extending it to 10 years. So got to keep in mind the residency requirement, again, 12 months, consecutive months at any time. You should not have been absent. So again, for the citizenship, it's the same requirement as the residency requirement. You cannot be absent for 12 consecutive months. You do need a Bulgarian language test. So it is multiple choice. So it does require some learning. Citizenship interview in Bulgarian and covers Bulgarian culture. Applicants should renounce current citizenship to become eligible to obtain a Bulgarian passport, but can obviously try to reapply for the original citizenship, because Bulgarians are allowed to be dual citizens, but to become Bulgarian, you cannot have two citizenships, right? You got to renounce yours. So it's a technicality. Well, here's an interesting part. What are the advantages of becoming a Bulgarian citizen? Well, you have full EU access to 27 EU countries, meaning you can work, live, invest, study for you and your family in the entire EU region permanently. Meaning you decide, hey, I want to go to Portugal. I want to go to Spain. I want to go to Germany. I want to go to Netherlands, right? You have visa-free access and e-visas to over 170 countries with a Bulgarian passport. It has E2 visa status with the US. You can pass the citizenship, hold on, folks, to all of your dependents. So meaning you are the mother or father, biological, right? One of you gets the passport. You can pass it on to all of your kids, whether they're 50 years old, 60, 20, they have their own family. You pass it on to your kids and they can pass it on to their kids. That's pretty good. And they don't even need a PR. They don't even need to be in the country, right? It's kind of cool. It's weird, but interesting. I like it. I've never seen any other program like that. So let's look at the comparisons. You can always try and buy. Start with the TRO, Trade Rep Office, and then convert within 6 months or a year through the investment route. Maybe you're not sure if you should invest 512,000 euros. Maybe you don't want to. They both offer quick access to European residency, Schengen region, and easy access to the West, to the East, CIS, Black Sea, and the Middle East because of the geographic location of Bulgaria. A real estate option investment is available for temporary residency eligibility, by the way, for Bulgaria. But unlike the funds investment, it doesn't give you permanent residency. So it still gives you temporary residency, which you need to convert to PR, which is more complicated, right? But if you want to do real estate, yeah, it's 100% possible. Bulgaria is under the radar right now, but the only country where you can invest in a non-immigrant linked investment fund, invest in real estate, and obtain a temporary residency. Only 2 other countries in Europe offer that. Become eligible for citizenship in 5 years. Only 2 other European countries still offer that. Competitive tax regimes, 10% flat rate, and one parent receives citizenship and passport. The whole family, like their kids and their kids, can receive it. And it's open to all nationalities. No other EU country can accept all nationalities directly this easily that Bulgaria does. If you like international investment hacks, creative residency and citizenship solutions, or key analysis of the exposed truth about programs and policies and updates around the world, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for these types of videos and updates because it's free. The latest investment programs, residency, citizenship, and fast-track residencies, okay? We'll do our live Q&A right now. Thanks for joining. Even if there is nobody to ask questions, well, great. It makes my life a bit easier. Thanks for tuning in to our live session. If you see the potential for yourself, your family, or your clients in securing a second or third or even fourth residency or citizenship, make sure you stay connected with us. At Ingway, we've dedicated customized solutions for your residency, citizenship, or tax relief programs. We offer transparency, choice, and security with payment milestones. With comprehensive professional errors and omissions insurance and client trust accounts with our North American banking institutions, we protect your interests. Plus, our multilingual team supports applicants from over 55 different countries, meaning we're familiar with your documentation. Ready to take the next step? Click the link below to contact us. If you want more personal guidance, can book a one-on-one consultation. If you're qualified and you answer the right questions, then we can always get on a call together as well. Okay, great seeing everyone. I mean, you're seeing me, I don't see you, but we'll be back here next Thursday again, 11 a.m. North America Eastern Standard Time, every week, discussing different residencies, alternative citizenships, international investment opportunities, and Plan B, A, C, doesn't matter what you call it. Okay, and we do have live Q&A sessions every Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back here next week. Same time, same place. If you subscribe, YouTube will notify you on your phone, on your app, that we are live, but not in an intrusive way, of course. Remember, it's free and we're here to help. Never apply just for the sake of applying, folks. And remember, I always say, when was the best time to plant a tree? It was 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? It's now. Okay. Dreaming Vlog. Hello, Dreaming Vlog. I believe you are here. Dreaming Big Vlog. Okay, I gotta check my glasses. Yes, if you have a question, let us know. Otherwise, hold your peace till next Thursday. Hope you're doing good. Thank you, Dream Big Vlog. Do you have any questions on any residency or citizenship programs within our portfolio? Of course, it's EU, North America, Central America, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Nauru, St. Kitts, Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Kitts, I mentioned, Antigua. Yes. If not, hold your peace till next Thursday. Thanks again, folks. We'll see you next week. Take care. And of course, you can rewind, watch this live because it'll be posted on our YouTube channel. Take care, folks. Thanks, Dream Big Vlog. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.